Now, tonight I have with me Mark O'Reilly, who's the organiser of the upcoming Mill Farm Folk Festival at Bradford Abbas on the 28th of May. And Mark, thanks for joining me tonight on Folk and Roots.
It's lovely to be here, and thank you so much for having us on. So, looking forward to it.
Ah, no, so am I. So to start, can I ask you something about your background and your musical journey? Because I know you and your wife own Mill Farm,
Yeah.
and you play in a band because we talked about that offline. So how did that come about, and how did you get involved with organising a folk event?
Well, our background is quite strange actually, because both of us come from a military background. My wife was in the Navy, and I was in the Army, and I did a full tour. I mean, about 26 years in the Army, and then got involved in the defence side of life. And my wife, likewise, she did some time in the Navy, and she got involved in the defence side of life. And then we got together about 20 years ago, and we both had musical backgrounds in the sense that we both loved music, and I had always played guitar. I learned to play guitar at school. I think my first song was House of the Rising Sun, which actually was a great song to learn because it allowed me to play an awful lot of songs because of all the chords that are in that. And Gloria by Them, I think, was the other one too, Van Morrison. But my wife's been a singer, and when we got together and we started we joined a local music group on Haley Island where we lived at the time, and from there it grew into developing into our own band. And then we had a band called the Fox Hat, and then that was in Haley in Hampshire, and then we moved here to Dorset, and we bought Mill Farm, not necessarily with the idea of music but and festivals, but we looked at it and we always loved music and we always loved festivals. We used to go to Glastonbury a lot. And so we built a recording studio. I had got quite a collection of guitars by this stage, and we needed somewhere to put them. And through a process of just evolution, it just developed. And we both, as I said many times already, we love music, we love performers, and it just grew from there, really. And we've got a lot of support from some local people and our families who helped us push it. And we started with a Mill Farm party about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's grown. And despite the pandemic, we still managed to get a festival out every year from different numbers of people. We started with 200, we went down to 150, and we hope for 200 to the folk festival that's coming up next week. So quite complicated, yeah.
Yeah, so Mill Farm is more than just a music venue, though, isn't it? I mean, how would you go about developing it, and what do you offer generally?
Well, and we've got the music barn where we have a recording studio, and the recording studio is run by our full-time producer, a chap called Tom Joblin, who I met at Lama Tree, and I literally went and watched his band, who were called Sorry About Sean at the time, who were a great band, and said, where do you record and how do you do it? And he ran his own little studio from the back of an Airstream caravan, which was great, and he was very capable, but it was quite limited in getting people in. So I said, well, come and have a look at what we're doing. And I showed him an empty studio. I think it only had a canoe in it. And I said, look, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm really keen to invest in it, and I want to see what we can do. So he came on board after, a few conversations. He gave me advice on what we should buy, and then so we developed the studio downstairs. Then we had a room off the side, which we have now created a sort of event play space, which has got a small stage on it. We can get up to 50 or 60 people. In the old days, standing, probably a bit less now with COVID and everything else. So we're very careful to make sure that people have a space, but you can stretch outside. And there we've had bands launching their albums and people performing there. And then upstairs, because I had to put our guitar somewhere, and we've got quite a collection here, we created a guitar bar. And that guitar bar's got signature model guitars that are all around it. So, there's a signature model for John Lennon's guitar, a signature model for Stephen Stills. We've just got a signature model's 12-string from Pink Floyd. And so there's a whole bunch, Johnny Cash, they're all around, and people can use those guitars from the bar. And if a young person comes in and he wants to play with the Bob Dylan SJ200 or whatever it is, he can just take it off the wall, go downstairs when he's recording with Tom, and see if he enjoys it. Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler, mainly acoustic, but there is quite a collection of guitars that people can use, and at the same time in the evenings we can have a drink there, when we're doing a function. So if we do a function downstairs, people come and have a drink, and then a band performs, and if not, they're recording downstairs, and they can still have a drink in the evening because we are a licensed bar.
Oh,
so that's the main building.
Yeah, yes. So moving on to the festival itself, I read that you're aiming it as a small, family-friendly festival. So please tell us something about that, and what acts have you got for the people who go along to enjoy?
Okay, well, this is our first attempt at a folk festival, and our headliner is a band called Harbottle and Jonas, which have got quite a following, and our record producer Tom recommended them to us, and we found them, and we thought in order to build the festival we wanted to get some people who had a following in order that over a process of time we get more people. So they're headlining it, and they're a Devon-based band, and I think you know them already, and they've been around a bit, and they're meant to be one of the hardest working bands. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them and meeting them. So they're headlining the festival. And we've got another band that is called the Vicar's Son, and Tom yet again found them. Tom's job as part of being a record producer and running he actually runs the sort of the technical side of the festival. So he found this band as well. And they're sort of, lively folk music, they do that. So that's be good. The odd cover, I think, but they do their own. Tony and Una, another band that are coming. And I read in their write-up that this is serious stuff. Single malt whiskey aged over 30 years. Drink responsibly, you have been warned. So I think they're really good fun. Connor Smith, who's a lovely young man from Shaftesbury, and he's been recording in the studio. And we when people record, we give them an option, if they'd like to pay at our festivals. And he actually, raised funds in order to get to come and record with us by busking on the streets of Shaftesbury. So we're really excited for him to come and have performance. And he launched his first EP or L single, which he did a few days ago in Shaftesbury. So we're really excited to see him. He's a really talented young man. And then the other band we've got beside our own is Pete Robson Blues, and that features Pete Robson playing guitar with somebody on drums, Alex on drums, and he's accompanied by Tom's wife Rebecca, who's actually our resident vocal coach, and she looks after quite a lot of local people and helping them improve in their vocal capabilities, one of which is me. And I have to say, she's done amazing things for both my confidence and ability. So, I mean, it's quite good fun. And when we say family, we want people to come across, bring their kids. We're going to have a little play area for children, bouncy castles and all that sort of stuff, ice creams, families running around, not packed. We'd be very happy with 200 people. We're licensed to 5, but that would overface us. So we keep it at maximum 250, and it makes it comfortable, and people can move around and have a bit of space. But they sit and watch live young bands, performing for them. I think bands are very keen. They've missed audiences over the last few years, and these little festivals. And I think Wicked, a village like Bradford Abbas has got a little festival on its doorstep, and hopefully the locals will come and support us and all that bits and pieces. I would have loved to have a folk festival on the edge of my village when I was a boy.
Oh, no, absolutely. And it's good you got David and Freya from Harbottle and Jonas, because I booked them for a festival I was involved in, and they were superb. And I've played their tracks on the show quite often. So I'm going to look forward to seeing them.
I think, the thing is people expect to see, good bands playing. And as I say, this is about our 4th or 5th festival. And we try and do 3 a year of differences just because we can. And, and we've got lots of bands who want to play, and we've got another one in July. And, I think if young bands want somewhere to play and perform in front of people. But I think old Harbottle and Jonas, as you said, David and Freya, we've been very lucky to get them for this time, for our first folk festival.
Yes, no, absolutely. No, you struck some gold there. So that's something about the festival. If somebody wants to go along, give us a reminder of the date and some details of the website and where to get tickets.
Yeah, well, the date is the 28th of May, and we start at noon, and so people come in and park, and then it runs to about, we like to finish by 11 because we're licensed only till 11 by the council, so people off site, and also then people can leave in good time and safely. Tickets are on sale now, and the best place to get them is actually through Mill Farm, for the website, which is www.millfarmdorset.com, and then you've got /events/folk festival. But if you go onto that website, it's easy to get to. It sounds more complicated to say than do. And you can get tickets there. And when people come in, even though we're small, we give them a sort of wristband and a program and a badge. And we've got a bar in the field and food. We're doing local food, local cider. They're all local. We're very keen on local, on being local. So yeah, so that's how the 28th, from 28th of May from noon. Come across, park your car, wander across, and sit in a lovely field. Nice and peaceful, and listen to local people of, quality and, not so far away, producing music which they're proud of, and it must be wonderful to hear, I hope.
No, absolutely. And Bradford Abbas is a lovely village anyway, and a really nice place to be. Yeah,
we're very lucky and very fortunate. And, we get a lot of support, and we give support back into the village where possible. When they have, events in the village, we try and help as much as possible. And we do lots of other things on the farm as well, but not just music. We do theatre, travelling theatre groups come and perform in the field, in the same area. We've got stages. And then, we support sales when they come here to, in January to do cider and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, we keep a close link with the village.
Oh, excellent. Well, it sounds a really interesting venue and an exciting and enjoyable festival to go to. I'm looking forward to it. I'm afraid that we've run out of time, which is a shame, as I was enjoying that. But I always give my guests a chance to choose a track. So what would you like, and why did you pick it?
Okay, well, one of my favourite tracks that both my wife and I really love, and we mustn't forget that Anne is a significant part of the team in getting this place off the ground, is off Blood on the Tracks, but I'm not going to ask you to play it because it's over 9 minutes, but it's Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts. But on the same album, which is one of my favourite Bob Dylan albums, there is The Simple Twist of Fate. And that's quite, everything is about a simple twist of fate in lots of ways. So that would be our choice of track tonight.
Okay. So, Mark, thanks so much for joining me on Folk and Roots tonight. And this is Simple Twist of Fate from the album Blood on the Tracks and by Bob Dylan.
Hi, this is Chris Leslie from Fairport Convention, and you're listening to Folk and Roots with Bob Ford on Abbey104.
That was a Simple Twist of Fate by Bob Dylan and from the album Blood on the Tracks, and a request to Mark O'Reilly, who's one of the organisers of the Mill Farm Folk Festival, which is being held on the 28th of May at Mill Farm in Bradford Abbas. And I hope you enjoyed our chat, and if you want to go along to this inaugural festival, then have a look at the website millfarmdorset.com, and you can find out all the details there, and of course purchase your all-important tickets so you can go along. And as always, if you have any problems, just let me know and I'll put you in touch with them. Now, during our chat, Mark explained about the acts that would be on stage, and he was really pleased, as you heard, that a new local artist from Shaftesbury is appearing at the festival, and he's just issued a brand new single. Well, how could I not resist that link, and the opportunity to hopefully bring exciting new talent to a wider audience. And this is Connor Smith.